Hey, good morning. It's 10:39 a.m. It is, I believe it's January 9th, and it's Tuesday morning. Let me just confirm on the calendar. Yes, I am correct. You know, um, like I said, every day kind of blends into the next. So there's times where I don't know what day it is, and that's kind of funny because, I've always been like, really good at keeping track of the days when I had an active, oh, I never really had like the kind of active life I wanted, but, like when I was working and stuff like that, I always knew what day it was. But anyway, I just want to make a quick video. I was getting inspired. I've always wanted to make like a stop animation video, not like a bunch of them, but like I always want to like at least make one stop animation video. And I see a lot of them posted on Facebook and Instagram, and I think they draw my attention because some of them are really clever. There's one, I believe it's called Greedy Greedy Brother something. I can't think of the name. But anyway, if I can remember to attach their video, just one of their little videos in the description box. I just think they're so entertaining. They got this little pig and he's like eating like different foods, and he's kind of like, singing along as he's eating. It's just, I don't know. I'll tell you, if you're somebody who needs to escape from your problem, it's nice just to watch something frivolous, something that's not threatening or anything, just watching something basic like that. I also recommend cartoons. Sometimes you don't want to be too. Sometimes TV shows can bring up issues that you really don't want to be thinking about, like maybe the subject matter is like a little bit close to what you're dealing with. So why sit here and have to refocus and bring all that shut up, right? Why don't you just like detach a little bit, But obviously you still have to stay in reality, okay? I mean, you deal with your problems the best way you can, but people need a break. So I feel as though, delving into the world of like, um, that kind of entertainment or that sort of art, because I look at it as art, right? Because she's expressing her, like, maybe her love or admiration for seeing cute little things eating food or whatever it is, it's cool to watch, right? So I was thinking, I got all these little stuffies. Some of you have seen my stuffies. I was thinking about the last one that I posted, one of my videos that I posted just recently. I showed everyone the little doll that I got at the estate sale, and I've been wanting to do something with him for a long time, like put him in a stop animation film. And I know it's a lot of work because you have to like make little scenes and take a bunch of pictures and put them together. So and I was talking to my son about this. He's like, well, you would just have to know, exactly what scenes, come next. You'd have to really plan it out. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely on my little list that I want to do. But anyway, so this morning, I just really don't have a lot on my plate other than, cleaning up after myself and whatever. I mean, I really don't. I want to work and finish my content that I'm working on for Patreon, and I don't really know what's going on. I'm just kind of like, my hands are tied. So I'm not going to check into my account for my own mental well-being because, like I said, having to deal with this issue, I do find it really traumatizing. It's like dealing with the issue all over again. That's not just for that issue, it's all my issues. Like, I don't like getting emails. I'm just like really like becoming a shut-in, trying to shut all the bullshit out. It's too much. It's like too much. But anyway, um okay, so I did talk about my failed art project a couple of days ago, and if you're somebody who works with compasses and rulers, and you're really precise, I totally envy you. I had a lot of problems with that. I think maybe it's funny, like when you fail an art project, you want to blame everything other than yourself, right? I want to blame the slab of wood for not being completely filed down. I want to blame the compass. I want to blame the compass for not working properly, But the fact is, I'm not the greatest artist, okay? So there's certain times I see things and I want to do them and try them myself or modify it or experiment with it. So, hey, I really am not really, I shouldn't be embarrassed to fail at something, but, I think it's I mean, I guess maybe I do beat myself up over stuff like that, you know? I want to do good in everything. And sometimes when I have things like in my mind and I want to somehow produce it, because, like, you know, one of the things I love about my experiences with lucid dreaming or astral projection, and like I said, I have never mastered astral projection. It's always been something that happens spontaneously. But I do remember, like, you know, there's been times where I would wake up and I would see, like, these patterns. Like they're like symmetrical. They're patterns that, you know, are just like, they're perfect. You know what I mean by that is, like, all little triangles are the exact same size. They're all, you know, I don't know, maybe, and I've done like reading about mandalas and stuff like that. Maybe some of those are inspired from those sort of experiences. Maybe that's why they created them in the first place. But anyway, I wanted to duplicate what I see, you know, during those experiences. Maybe I was trying to, like, somehow create some sort of portal or meditational focal point so that I can master astral projection. You know, I desperately wish I had that ability. You know, I don't think that there's some things that maybe if, like I mentioned, the prince was able to fly in his past life, I don't, there's certain things that I am not able to do in this life. Or if I do experience them, they're beyond my control. You know what I mean? And it might be, this might be some sort of life that I'm living now is to where I'm not going to manage those sort of things. It just, you know, how, I don't know, you know what I mean? But we'll see as time goes on, you know. And definitely, if I had the ability to fly, that would definitely increase my viewership on my channel. Okay, because I would film that shit. I really would. Okay, but unfortunately, you know, I don't have that ability. So back to my art project. Okay, so I was pissed off about the slab of wood that I got at the dollar store, and then I failed not being able to produce the circle. So I ended up pulling out one of my stencils and creating this. Right? It's really not a big deal. It's kind of like, it's kind of mediocre, really. But what is cool about it is I did use, what do you call it, glow in the dark paints. So I'm going to go ahead and step into my closet and see how this turns out. Let's see here. See, now the thing is about it, I'm thinking, am I feeling this right? I was hoping that it would be, like, better. Okay, so this is a failure too. Okay, so anyway, I guess it will be used during the daytime. That wasn't my intention. My intention was for me to be able to create, number one, an art piece using a compass and a ruler, and being able to paint, which I will have to just go and get the special paints that they were using, okay, because you can't accomplish it with the back of a paintbrush or anything else, okay, so it is what it is. But I wanted to use that, you know, as a focal point while I was going to bed, and having the glow-in-the-dark paints, you know, kind of like facing me. So I would be facing it, you know, we'd be looking at each other, I guess, whatever. And so to hopefully induce astral projection. So back to the old drawing board, right? Anyway, I did get some intuitive messages this morning, and so I kind of wanted to go over them in this particular video. So the first one is that, you know, people are still wanting the Alamele, the Prince Alamelehu topic out in the open, like, you know, official coverage. I don't believe that's going to happen. I will say this, and this is like, it's a proper vent, okay? It's a proper expression of my frustration about the situation all the way around. And I know, like, when you're dealing with narcissistic people, they have a really hard time accepting the fact that they've damaged somebody or they affected somebody, and they're just like, you know, they don't want to assume, you know, that sort of responsibility. But anyway, I'm not asking anyone to take that sort of responsibility. I'm just saying, hey, this is what happened, okay? And it seems as though when you are like a victim of something like this, you don't, everybody wants to make sure that they come out looking good. You know what I mean? So you're constantly just being dumped on. It would have been better had the story been released like in a public thing, if that's what people wanted. Like, mind you, I didn't play any active role in this. I just discovered the whole thing, right? So then I started talking about it on my video. You know, I did say, well, if this is what people want, then let's hurry up and do it. So I set a 2 week time limit and nothing happened. Okay. So it's like, it's always their time. It's always, they don't care if you suffer, you know what I mean, or you're inconvenienced. Like the whole issue of me trying to get a jump start on making money a few months ago, blah, 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 right? The reason why I'm bringing this up is like, you know, I'm always the one who deals with, you know, the whatever. Like people can fuck up and they just sweep it under the rug, and then that rug just happens to be me, right? Like it's not. I'm always the one who catches the negative bullshit of these people, and it's like it's ridiculous. Okay, so please stop doing it. Anyway, I don't. When it comes to the thing, I think, like I said, like in my community, I don't really deal with the weird, like, mystery type feeling. People pretty much know. And I think maybe at this point, like, bringing it up, like, on a big news channel or something like that would probably just be fueling the fire. I don't want to fuel the fire. I just want to get on with my life. I've always tried to deal with things in a very peaceful way. And at this point, it's like, what I want to do is I want to pack my shit up and I want to get the fuck out of Bakersfield. That's what I want to do. And I can't do anything until I make money. And so, I think this excessive control is very damaging. But then, like I said, when I look back to the origins of this, how else am I supposed to feel? You know what I mean? It's very disturbing to me. Anyway, I do get the feeling that a lot of people approve of me, like they know that I'm not somebody who wants to stir up trouble. I don't. I've always just tried to keep to myself and mind my own business. I don't want to. I try not to get too involved with just drama. I don't want it. I try to focus on things like, when, like my home or something, like making a craft or whatever. I'm not into the gossip thing. I'm not into pursuing things that I'm not able to have. Like, for example, some people, they have this idea of like this high life or this, what do you call it? The same reason why, like, the people in my hometown turned on me. Like, people have this idea of the ideal lifestyle, or the living in the Hamptons, or whatever. I don't know what it is, or like this social status, or whatever. All I've ever tried to do was survive, and tried to survive in a very peaceful way, a very quiet way, and then all this shit like just gets dumped on me. It's like I didn't do anything to ask for it. Anyway, the other message I was getting is that people are ashamed of their evil bullshit that they did at the workplace. Okay, because, and the thing is, like, you never want, in certain, like, relationships, or any relationship really, you never want to get it to the point of where where they've done so much that you have to walk away. You know what I mean? It's like you have to walk away from certain people because there's no explanation for what they did other than they had a rotten heart condition, or that they were just fucking outright evil. You know what I mean? There's certain things that you can forgive and you can overlook. You know what I mean? Like, somebody bumps into my car, I can overlook that. It was an accident. If somebody forgets my birthday or something like that. Some things like that happen, and there's no reason to hold any grudge or whatever. But when somebody had enough time, like they've had adequate time to know what they were doing was wrong, when you present facts and whatever, and you express yourself like, hey, this is wrong, and you continue to do it, that person, you can't think that this person's ever going to change. You know what I mean? I couldn't have any sort of like emotional connection with somebody that did me that way. You know what I mean? It's just not normal. Like, if I was to see these people, it would just like trigger off like weird like vibes, like, because to me, like I said, when you look down through this whole thing was created by something evil. It was evil from the get-go, and which trickled down the pyramid, people only got that weird little glitch in their eye of that sick form of joy, what they call it, Schadenfreude or whatever. They get that because there's something sick within them anyway. So yeah, some people you just have to write off. You cannot accept them saying they're sorry. And the thing is, you don't want to always have to be in a relationship with somebody that you have to wonder exactly why they're sorry. Are they sorry because they really hurt you, or are they sorry because everybody knows that they're a fucking asshole? You know what I mean? That's why I think it's important. Like, if you get in a relationship, you have a friend, you have a family member, that's the point of cherishing a person, right? I don't expect to be cherished by coworkers because, they're not your family, they're not your fucking friends, they don't have any sort of, like, any sort of emotional commitment to you, if there is such a thing called emotional commitment. But you know what I mean? Like, when you're in a family, there's this part of you that expects your family to love you. They're just a part of you. You expect that, right? You expect that. Naturally, intuitively, you just do, right? But when you're dealing with people who are outside your family, or people that you went to school with, or people that you called your friends, you don't expect that. So coworkers or whatever, but there was absolutely no denying the fact that they enjoyed their evil, sick, little twisted bullshit. You know what I mean? So there you go. Anyway, also I was meditating on the fact that, when it comes to the process, I wouldn't say the process of death, but like how people deal with the remains of a human body. Okay. I do think that that's something that people should have the right to say. They should have some sort of say over that. Now, as I'm meditating, because there are some people, like I knew some people that were Catholic. I used to be against people who were Catholic to be cremated because they had a big problem with, they felt as though the human body should be intact. That's not the only religion that feels that way. Okay. Some people think that burial is acceptable. Some people their heads want to be faced in a certain direction when they're buried. Some people have customs that other people would not understand. Okay. But, and I think it's more for the person's peace of mind. I don't really think, as I'm meditating, I don't believe that the soul is not necessarily attached to the human vessel. Okay, so perhaps it doesn't matter, what happens to the body. But still, it's a matter of respecting that person's wishes so that when they do pass on, they don't have to pass on with any worries. Like, well, they feel like it would be comfortable if they were, buried with their loved ones, for example, right? So they're buried with their loved ones. They want to, when they close their eyes and they release their vessel into whatever, right? Wherever they go in the process of death, they don't want to be tied down to anything that makes them worry on the earth, right? That's why some people, they want to make sure they don't have any unfinished business on this planet. Like, there's some people who want to make sure that all their bills are paid. I will tell you what, if I had some sort of terminal illness, I could give two shits if PG&E gets paid. I don't give a fuck, okay? But there are some people who care about those sort of things, okay? They don't want to have to, they feel like I need to finish all of this, and that's their right. You know what I mean? So if I was a friend to that person, I would listen to what they're saying, and I would make sure that their desires are going to be carried out, because I want them to be at total peace when they pass on. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just had that message. I wanted to share it with you. Also, I had no idea that I was like a religious war campaign would ever be launched on me. Okay, never. So I mean, I think some of these people got so enthusiastic, especially like my sister Tanya and my brother John. They got onto this like whole idea that, it's us versus them, i.e. me, like all by myself, like the United States, everyone else in the world, all gang up on poor little Maria. And it was like this, like, war. Like I said, it was like a war that was being launched on me, some little hate campaign about religion. And the thing is, I keep getting this message that people feel as though me talking about the origins of people. Like, I did a video on a brief video mentioning, that, other cultures, people, every culture has their own history or their own, like, what they call myths or whatever. And some people feel as though that was kind of a peaceful resolution. And the funny thing is, when I'm hearing this in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I didn't realize I had to make some sort of resolution, or I even had to do something like this. You know what I mean? Somebody should have given me like a heads up and told me, like, people don't like you flat out. Like, I saw the signs that people were like using this bullshit about religion around me, but I had no idea like how big that was, you know what I mean? And I kind of get angry when it comes to my siblings, because they should have like mentioned this to me. Like they were expressing concern, like, and I understand some people who come from religions, they don't see any other way. Like, I remember there was a few people that I grew up with, like this girl who was Jehovah's Witness. Like, she couldn't process somebody believing that they were going to heaven. That's just in her mind. People die and then they get resurrected at some point. Okay, so when people would talk about their experiences, their their background or their beliefs on the afterlife, she would kind of poo-poo it or whatever, and she would like address why she felt as though that person was wrong. They would have some sort of discussion about it. My family never did that to me. It was always behind my back. You know what I mean? I did get invited to my sister's church a few times, and it was usually inconvenient. And I did remember the few times that I did go, because they would throw on the love bombing too thick. And like I said, don't freak me out like that, because I will never come back. And I obviously knew that it was bullshit. Like, they do that because they want you to feel comfortable. They want you to get close to them. They want you to share your life with them so that they could turn around and use it against you. Okay. And I saw the sort of manipulation that was going on with them telling my sister what she could wear. I didn't like the fact that my brother-in-law basically used my sister as a doormat. At least that's how it appeared to me. So I didn't want any of that. And but it wasn't like, like I said, I never had any issues about Jesus. I never poo-poo Jesus. I talk a lot about Jesus, especially when in my earlier days, because like I said, I studied the Bible and stuff like that when I was a kid. I've never, it's just, if I don't like an organization, and I don't like the way that they act and behave, and I don't like, their unjustified bossing people around, just because like a bunch of girls are jealous of my sister. Because my sister Tanya, I have to say, she's a total bitch, but she did look pretty goddamn cute in her tank top. Okay, so you get people who are jealous of that. They can't handle it, so they're gonna say, oh well, you're dressing for your boyfriend. Like, that's a bad thing. Okay, that's what couples do. Like, like I said, if you know that somebody likes something, a certain color or whatever, then you show up in that not everybody's like that, but it's a part of the joy of courtship, right? Some jealous bitches just wanted to stomp out my sister's happiness, right? Because I do know back in the 80s my sister was dating her I don't know, the man she ended up marrying. At that time, it was like the 80s, early 80s, okay? So they were an interracial couple. So who's to say these girls could have just been jealous because my sister had a white boyfriend, right? And they could have just been doing bullshit, but they didn't have anything scriptural to say about her choices. They didn't really have anything to say at all. It's none of their fucking business. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm hoping to do more experimenting with like different kinds of videos and stuff like that. I've always wanted to do that stop animation, and I think I will attach that little video in the description box. It's fucking cute. It really is. It's like, this little pig is just so funny, the way that he's eating his little food, and then he just kind of like turns his little head and then looks at the camera at the end with this little snout. It's adorable. Okay, so like, I really want to do something with my little baby doll that I showed a couple of days ago. So anyway, wish me luck. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye.